They called me crazy, but I was right again. Borderlands 4 leaks confirm that it's been in development for 6 years. It's almost like somebody said that months ago.
I told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? 'Cause I told you. And when did I tell you? A long time ago.
When I originally said that, I couldn't be 100% sure at the time, but it just made fucking sense. So not only did this leak confirm that the game began pre-development in 2018, this also lets us know that BL4 is not releasing this year. It's almost like I said that too. Do we really think that Borderlands 4 had a chance to come out this year at this current point with all of this other stuff wrapped around the Borderlands IP?
No, I didn't. Nope.
Interesting. I seem to get a lot of stuff right, don't I? Alright, so what does this even mean? Well, for one, this means that the game has a damn near 100% chance of coming out in 2025. Whether it's quarter 1 or quarter 4 of 2025 is still up in the air. But this game will be dropping, and there's pretty much no doubt about it at this point. Now, why do I say that, you might ask? Well, with it being confirmed by this leak that the pre-production started towards the back half of BL3's development cycle, combined with our LinkedIn leaks from 2023 that confirmed that Borderlands 4 and Tiny Tina's Wonderlands 2 are both being made on the Unreal Engine 4, which I covered those leaks in depth a long time ago, but that video is irrelevant right now. What is important is that this means that BL4 started production in 2019 on the same damn engine as BL3. And yes, this also does confirm that Borderlands 3.5 very well could be shitting its way down your throat sometime next year. Exactly like I said. Borderlands 4 is being made on the exact same engine as Borderlands 3. Another big issue it's going to have is the weapons are going to be a copy and paste from BL3, kind of like we saw with Borderlands the pre-sequel, having 80% of the weapons being reused from the original source. And I'm just trying to make a quick comparison here. As a guy who loves Borderlands 2, I did not love that Borderlands the pre-sequel was like an 80% copy and pasted version of it. With that being said, this game likely started full-on production before Wonderlands, which doesn't mean anything for Wonderlands really, as it was likely majority a new team that was working on that game. I know this because it adds up with the reports that the same team who worked on Wonderlands were immediately moved to Wonderlands 2 after the first game had dropped, which makes sense as there were only 3 developers working on the Wonderlands DLCs that were eventually released. So essentially, the puzzle pieces are starting to fully come together. It's all starting to make sense that BL4 is releasing in 2025, as now in 2024 it is going on 6 years of development, and 2025, which is like I said where it is likely to release, would make it a full 7-year development cycle, which also happens to be the exact same amount of time that it took for them to make Borderlands 3. And I think that's a fair window for a Lands title given the past games and the releases. And the reason that I know it's 2025 and not 2026 is because while under the Embracer Group, their former parent company essentially, they announced that they were going to release 10 AAA games between then and 2026. Knowing that this announcement took place in February of 2022, I went and looked at all of the games that Gearbox has released since then, and we have already seen 4 different AAA titles that have been released since that point, including Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, New Tales from the Borderlands, Remnant 2, and Homeworld 3. Let me know if I missed any down in the comments below, but as of right now, that leaves 6 AAA games open for Gearbox to release. So if BL4 hasn't been announced yet, and it isn't coming this year, it would make a lot of sense for it to be next year and Wonderlands 2 to follow in 2026. Because even as dumb as Gearbox proves that they are time and time again, we all know that they aren't going to release Borderlands 4 and Wonderlands 2 in the very same year. Therefore, with all of the information presented, leaks, and official information from Gearbox themselves, I can guarantee that this game is coming next year. Like I said earlier, no telling when at this point, but having started pre-development stages before BL3 even finished is insane to me.
Are you crazy?
I'm a little...
There's no way this game is drastically different in terms of gameplay from the third. As said before, it's on the same engine as BL3, combined with yesterday's leak of it being in development before Tiny Tina's Wonderlands and before Borderlands 3 had finished. For us fans that were hoping for a fresh feel for the franchise, unfortunately, that's not what we're going to get. Now, obviously, with all that time, there will be things different about BL4 compared to the third game. I'm not saying that there won't be anything at all that's different, but what I'm trying to get at is BL3 was the ground level that they are building up from. And if they're building up from rubble and trash, well, that doesn't exactly excite me about Borderlands 4. While I still plan on giving the game a fair shot when it does eventually release, I'm not going in with high expectations, just for the simple fact that my personal least favorite game in this series was the foundation that it was built on. I could go on and on about my issues with the third Borderlands game, but I think we've covered that a time or two. And just know that no, I don't hate that game. I just can't stand what it has done to my favorite video game franchise of all time. Then I look at today's news, and I'm excited because at least it has been in development for a long time. But how much of these 6 years was it getting the full attention that it deserved? Since there's nothing to go off of with that, I'm not going to speculate, but it's fair to assume that with the company being sold in between now and then, there's probably been some other bumps along the road. But the main reason that I made this video here today was to update you all on the now confirmed development window of BL4 that just leaked out yesterday by the time this video comes out. This source has gotten many things right in the past, as well as being run by an entire team of leakers, which makes it very possible for other leaks to start coming out as the weeks go on, with it already being as close as it is to August, where the Borderlands movie will release, and all of the other projects that are currently tied under the Borderlands IP, like this new Moxie comic book series that was recently announced, or the Wonderlands ones, or the Facebook Live Echo Vision Live thing that still doesn't have a release date for some reason. The novel that came out last month, which I read up on, by the way, and it's about as bad as you can imagine. I could give you a rundown of it, but you'd all probably click off this video because of how stupid it is. And just to reiterate what I've said in previous videos, I want Borderlands 4 to succeed. I tell you all of this because I want to keep you up to date on what's going on with the company and this series, because whether it's the movie or the games, best believe that I'm going to be here to tell you what's up. I had an entirely different video finished and ready to go for today, but because this leak dropped, I had to get this out to you all as quick as possible with all of the details from the previous leaks and such, so you could make more sense of it all. I hope I was able to do that for you, and if you did enjoy today's video, please press the like button and consider subscribing if you guys are new. I cover all things Borderlands related, and trust me when I say, I don't bite my fucking tongue. But that's going to do it for me today, guys. I really hope you all did enjoy it. But most importantly, remember that I love you all to death, and Gearbox just needs to pull their head out of their ass.